But let's see if this is in private. Oh, it's not. Hmm, that's surprising. Oh. Hello. Might need to turn my fan down. Hmm. Let me turn my timer on. Because it's the only way I can stream. I need to get used to typing in chat again. Oh no. How did I? No, it is not back. Wait, what the fuck? Oh yeah, I have voice banned for like $5. I forgot that. But it's only for like 5 minutes or something, I forget. Mm-hmm. So that way you won't use it. Mm-hmm. Hello. Okay. Let me close this. Okay. I feel like I need to lower my AC. Okay, I think that's a little better. Hopefully. Oh yeah, I need to. What? Okay, there we go. Mm-hmm. 35, no, 34, 33, 32, 31, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, hello, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What? Let me stop this. Hello, bud. Hello, chat. It has been 2 weeks. Sorry about that. Uh, Hopefully, uh, fingers kind of crossed that maybe things will return to normal after the weekend. Hopefully, but no guarantee. Uh, what are my hands doing? Uh, I agree. I agree. You may be wondering, Mystic, why why are you streaming this at this time at this hour? I don't think I've maybe like a year or two ago I streamed at this time, but I've not done that in a long time. No, that is, that is quite the opposite. But you may be wondering why am I streaming it at this hour, at this uh time of day? Well, uh, my roommates have become like nocturnal, and I can't stream unless they are asleep. Otherwise, they are within earshot. And last time I streamed when they were awake, they heard me talking. So I've tried to avoid that. And for like the first week I was gone, I would try and stay up until like 12 to stream, and they would stay awake until 5 a.m. So, if I can't stay awake long enough for them to fall asleep, I have to wake up before they wake up. So, uh, until my roommates have a reasonable sleep schedule again, I think I'm gonna have to wake up at the crack of dawn to stream. So, I have not been, I have not been streaming because of burnout. I've been not how do I phrase this? I have not been streaming because I literally have not been. It's not been possible outside of my roommates. I got a Job. I don't want to say that word, but I got one of those, uh, and that's kept me a little busy. I also I drive again. I leave the house. I touch grass. I have social interactions. Something I haven't had in a year. Yeah, after a year. Well, actually, I got it working, and then last night I think I fucked it up again. But I think that's just I think that's a quick 1 hour fix or something. It, it's fine. I'm not uh gonna crash out over that. This car is gonna give me a headache. But I've been driving. Uh, I, I don't know if I should say that or not. What I was gonna say, but okay, I got a list of things I need to mention because it's been so long. I don't remember what I've mentioned last stream and what has happened since then. Let me drink. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned my hearing issues, right? Or that I thought I had hearing issues because I have since confirmed. Well, not confirmed. I have done kind of tests my uh, of my own doing. Like I'll flip my headphones around, and my left side is like very. It's slightly noticeable, but it's noticeable enough to know that it definitely has damage that I can't hear as well in my left ear. So that's fantastic. That's great. um. Oh yeah. Also, on top of my ears not working, my I think damaged. I'm pretty sure it's damaged. Yeah. That was fun. On top of my ears not working, my headphones also broke. So I had to get new ones. And then, uh, what was after that? I will shove whatever I want in my own ears, okay? No one can tell me not to do that. Ah, but I have been trying to stream for the last 2 weeks, or at the very least, even record content like ASMR. And like at every single point of that, something has prevented me. Okay, I forget where I need my mic at to where it doesn't block my mouth. But I remember I was trying to stream and like I think like 3 times I was gonna go live. Hello, hello. I'm very consistent at being inconsistent. But I was gonna stream like 3 times, I think last week, and every single time it would just out of nowhere start storming, or I would be interrupted, or something would happen. And then, like 2, 3 days ago, yeah, it really was. Like 2, 3 days ago, I was going to record a. Mm-hmm, I'm still alive somehow. But 2 days ago, I was literally about to press record for a ASMR stream, and then my roommate just starts shouting my name like Mistic, and was wanting me to help them with something, but then they didn't do the thing they wanted help with for like 30 minutes. So I just sat around waiting instead of recording ASMR. I did manage to get one thing recorded though. I've not edited it, and I don't know if I need to re-record it because I feel like there was a lot of background noise in it. So I might need to re-record that. But it was a robot. I forget what the actual thing was. It was like some kind of robot uh, script that I did. That was like a parody, so that was fun. I might need to re-record that. Also, I literally have like a list of just like 1 word topics to talk about. Okay, so headphones, hearing, like uh, I still have the issue where wasps just come into my room. I was laying down, I just hear zzz, zzz, not a vibrator, a wasp, just flying around a light in the corner of my eye. The sheer panic I felt because I was about to go to sleep and there was a huge wasp in my room. I don't know how they even still get in. Huh? Oh, but between a wasp and I think there's a pretty clear difference. Uh, 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 uh. I don't know how they keep getting in because even though my windows are broken, I have like taped almost the entire window and they still find a way to get in. So I don't know if they're getting in from like my roommates doors or what, but I've had like 3 wasps get in, and it's terrifying each and every time. And on top of that, I went to visit someone, and then when I came back, I had. Do I still have it? Okay, yeah, I still kind of have it. I went to visit someone overnight, and I came back with this mysterious bite on my leg. The only thing it even looks similar to is like a horsefly bite, I think, because it's like weirdly like a hive, but it did originally have a bite. But that's the only thing it even looks like a horsefly. And then I woke up to like multiple mosquito bites like the other day. So I'm just not having a good time with bugs right now. But thankfully it was mosquitoes and maybe a fly. Mm-hmm. I might. Thankfully I have not yet, to my knowledge, been bitten by a spider. So I'm still okay on that front. But I have seen one or two appear, and I hate it so much. Huh. Yikes. I have never had a rodent go towards me. I think they're scared of my bat nature. Do bats hunt rats? I feel like they do. Or maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Oh, so I feel like for like a month now, I've been mentioning something, but saying I can't talk about it, but I'm still mentioning it about uh doing something. Bye bye bye. Yes, the plan. Uh, it was going to be today. I don't know if it will be today because my car. But uh no, as long as I'm alive, I don't think I'll graduate. I think I'll be on my deathbed. Well, guys, this is React Stream 2001. Still streaming. No, no, no. But I was how much do I want to say? I was gonna hang out with someone. I may still do that tonight, but I don't know. Let me move this. It's annoying me. I'm so close to chat. It's annoying me. But I was and possibly may do that tonight. But my car needs to be fixed, and some stuff that I don't want to mentioned that I don't want to mention is also preventing a possible hangout. So that may need to be rescheduled, uh, which I am not the happiest about, as I was looking forward to it for a month. But it can always be rescheduled. I guess I'm not gonna say what the plan ended up being, but we originally were gonna go somewhere, and then I called the place uh, recently, and turns out like for tomorrow it's basically entirely booked. So I can't do that, even though that was I don't know what to say. It I really wanted to do the thing. Did I say what I was gonna do? Okay, maybe I already mentioned what it was gonna be. But yeah, it was gonna be bowling, but uh yeah. Okay, I couldn't remember if I said it or not, but yeah, it was gonna be that, but the place uh we wanted to go was booked. I would not say it is a special someone. I would say it's a friend I have not seen in a while, is the way I would put it for now. But we never know. We never know. And no, no, you cannot watch. No, no, no. But it, if we do hang out, it would not be bowling, which is the only reason why I feel comfortable saying that. I like to be extra cautious. What else? I mentioned that. Mentioned that. Oh, okay. I don't know how often I will do this, but uh, for the month of September, I am in a. I guess technically right now I am too, but until September, there's like this month long SMP that I am in part of. Huh? Well, this person is not a VTuber. They are a IRL, a real person in the flesh, and they're also a man. So I highly doubt it. But I am a part of like a month long SMP. What is it called? I forget. It started, I want to say yesterday or the day before, but I've not been live, so I've not been able to play it. Sleepy SMP Season 3 is the SMP I am a part of for like a month. So hopefully I can get a few streams of that this next month. I need to catch up on so much, but I will try and join that because I was planning on doing a lot of streams of that when I originally applied, and then life went downhill for 2 weeks. So that might be a little bit of a problem. Um, what else on this list have I not said? Future streams. Most streams will probably be around this time, if not earlier, because roommates, and also I have to be uh I have stuff in mornings that I need to do some days. So it's best for me to just stream early instead of trying to stay up late. Uh, that's all I'm gonna say on that matter. But hopefully, mhm. Okay, and the last thing on my list is my dreams have been. I feel like my dreams are always very uh not crazy phrasing, by the way, but uh I do plan on going to the gym again soon because it's been too long. all I'm gonna say is I have some nice curves on me. uh, let me pull up.
Why are we still here?
Ah.
Just to suffer?
Okay.
Why are we still here?
I was waiting for the notification to go off again. There we go. Okay, I will continue my conversation after. Uh huh. What? I feel like my mic is being so weird lately. But okay. Squats. My knee is still fucked up. One, two, three. Jimmy Jacks. One, two, three. It is too early for this. I woke up like an hour ago. It's too early for this. Wow. Okay. I need to move my mic. It's too close to where I sit. So I keep hitting my mic on accident. I need a drink. Okay. And then for my final conversation topic, my dreams. I feel like my dreams aren't really that metaphorical. Like most people dream about falling and stuff, and it's like, oh, you're what is the metaphor for falling? You're scared of change or failing or something. Mine are just very straightforward. Uh, what day was this? Oh shit, that was yesterday morning. Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't realize that was yesterday because I write in my notes what day uh I dream something and I write down. I know I dreamed something this morning, but I didn't write down. But 8:26. Uh, I'm not gonna mention the first half of it, but um, I was texting someone in my dream, which I feel like I don't know how true this is anymore, but people say you don't like use your phone in dreams or like see text messages, which has never been true for me. I not quite halfway there, but I was texting someone in a dream, and like, is it true that like most people don't have like phones in their dreams or text messages in their dream? 'Cause I feel like I heard that somewhere, but like I've always been able to use a phone in my dream. I can read messages, I can text, I can see stuff. Hello. I don't know if that's just like some like bullshit dream statistic that isn't real. Because I've had dreams like that for like a while, or maybe I just use technology too much. Maybe that's the issue. But I was dreaming that I was in this closet on my phone texting someone about some stuff I will not mention, but I was also on my computer, and for some reason I had OBS open, and I looked up at like my chat, and once again, just like in real life, I went live. But this time, apparently, according to why is it that in my dream, I looked at the activity feed. Uh, mm, yeah. Mm-hmm. my dreams are so usually grounded in reality, except for a few bizarre ones. But I looked up, realized in the dream that I was streaming. I looked at the activity feed going crazy in the chat. I forget what chat was saying because I didn't write it down, but I can vaguely remember what they were saying. Like, oh, they don't know they're live or something. And I in the dream, I think it was Beetle that raided me in my dream. And then I just had a huge raid while literally having my mic muted in a black screen on OBS. Hmm. I don't know how. I don't know if you can prevent yourself from dreaming. I know if you write down your dreams, you're more likely to remember them, which is why I do that. And also, I am so desperately trying to lucid dream again. I got 3 lucid dreams and then never got them again. I'm trying so hard to get that back. But Dream Mystic was popping off on accident because I got raided by Beetle slash Neurosama in my dream. And then what day was this? 8:20, which I was so tired I wrote it as a time. I had a dream I was on a train and someone got pushed out of the train while the door was open. What the fuck was I? What the fuck kind of dream is that? And then I don't think any of these other ones are that interesting. Yep. Well, I mean, it's official in my dream. That counts as official, right? As long as the dream, Mystic believes it. Mm, I don't think I've ever had sleep paralysis. I have seen what the fuck is that thing called? Like the Hat Man. I've seen that, but like it wasn't sleep paralysis. It might have just been like a ghost or like a weird guy. I've never had sleep paralysis. Mm. I had 3 lucid dreams like 2 3 months ago, and they were really easy to like control stuff in the dream. Like I made people appear, I made things happen. I was able to change my location. It's really easy for me to stay in the lucid dream. I just can't seem to go lucid very quick, very easily, because I can realize I'm in a dream. I just can't get in, take control of the dream that easy. Hmm. Hmm. That sounds horrible. Uh, okay, yeah, I think that's all of my topics. I think that is a good summary of how my 2 weeks have been. Uh, hmm. Well, everyone's different. Because, I mean, I listen to my TV and radio to fall asleep. So, anything's possible. I think this is my longest ever intro chatting thing. Because it's been 35 minutes. Usually mine don't go past 30. So, I'm getting better at chatting. I'm getting better. Mm, interesting. Okay. Anything else I should mention? I still have done no shorts editing. I think I might just need to uh repurpose some old clips from like a month or two ago and re-edit them with new Mistic editing styles because I haven't streamed in 2 weeks, so I have no new clips to use. Uh, anything else? I don't think so. So real, so real. Hello, hello. I will not clip that. I hate the societal expectation of giving money. Unfortunately, I need money. I need money, and I need a job for money. Otherwise, I would not get a job. But okay. Hmm. Hmm. I know nothing about. Hmm. I know a lot of mechanics. I know nothing about cars though. So if someone said my car could fly and they were a mechanic, I would believe them. Hmm. I do not like editing Mystic. Editing Mystic is a awful time. But thank you, thank you. Okay. I think it's maybe time for me to actually get to the plot. My computer could not handle editing and streaming at the same time, nor would I want to, because I would just be like, hmm, okay, so I gotta do this. I got clip this, cut this, trim this. Okay, let's change the ratio. Huh? I'm not flashing anything. What? I would never. Okay, okay, I tried to wink, but I just blinked. There we go. I would never. No. Okay. Mm. I, I don't know how big of an issue that is. That sounds like a big issue though. To have a hole in your that sounds like a big issue. But yeah, I know nothing about cars. I know nothing about my car except it is old. So it is a miracle it's still alive. But okay, I will hopefully get 3 videos done. Mm, I see. Okay, uh, let me go over what videos we will hopefully cover today. Hmm, let's not say that. Some people are just dumb. Doesn't matter other aspects. But okay, Casual Geographic has a new video, and then there's this other video I want to look at. And then I don't know how long it's been, but Salmonella has finally uploaded a new video. I can't remember if the last time I watched one of his videos was my first model or my last model. It's been so long. But I'm pretty sure I've watched every single Salmonella video on stream, not stream, on video on my Reacts channel. So we have that. hmm We have the newest video from Megalag on Honey. Uh, the Roman guy? I don't know if it's Roman, it's Pliny explains it all too, is what it is. Damn. That is insane. And then we got more casual Geographic, maybe Legends of Avantris and other stuff. But I don't know how many I'll get to because I'm trying to do as much as possible before my roommates get up. Because I know they don't go to sleep till like 1 in the morning, but I don't know what time they actually wake up. So true. People in general just annoy me sometimes. Okay, let me. Okay, do that. And then. What? Okay, after 40 minutes, we are finally getting to the plot. That has got to be a new record of Mistic yapping intros. That's gotta be a record. I don't know if we're keeping score, but that is definitely a it's definitely a record. And since you're new here, Kasame is not being serious. The subplot. Mm-hmm. Huh? What? What does that mean? Okay. What is bite? What? It's a shirt. It's a tank top. They are not being serious. But it is a shirt of vampire bite marks. But okay. Let me do my intro kind of. I've kind of given up on intros because they absolutely kill retention. Is retention the word? I forget. But it tanks the algorithm. Something something. I keep hearing my fan in the background and it's annoying me so much. Ooh, let me see. Does that help it? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I think that's slightly better. Maybe. Okay. uh, it has been so long since I've touched this mic. No, it's not. No. And I'm gonna refresh chat. I also realized I never typed in my React chat, but that's fine. No, no, no. Where is... Sometimes YouTube gets mad when people have chat in the first 30 seconds, so I'll do that. Okay. How you believed the oldest lie in nature. A hyena was on the thumbnail, so I'm gonna guess it's about hyenas. I mean, I don't know what the lie is, but I believe they're scavengers, right? That's all I really know. Automod is so funny. Out of that whole message, it flagged the words tiny piece for sex-based terms. But what does that even mean, Automod? What does that mean? Okay. But let's get into the video. I know nothing about hyenas except for The Lion King. Good luck. Good luck. If you're new here, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Who's your favorite character in The Lion King? Something I will never need to be insecure about. Because unlike some people, my Pinar, huge. So big. So big. My favorite character was what is that guy, that lion's name? The what is it, like Scar's kid? Like that emo ass lion. I haven't watched it since I was super young. But that was my favorite character. The emo lion. But let's start the video. Let's get into it. I haven't done intros in so long. Please forgive me.
This is not a dog,
Hyena.
and that is not a laugh. If you're confused, you've fallen for the great hyena trap. Cursed by its own anatomy and victim of the typecast, hyenas have always been the Joker to the Batman of big cats.
Okay.
But how did hyenas happen? How did they evolve to that? How did the Serengeti get an uncanny, killer false laugh
The
trap?
what?
Was everything you got wrong
What?
about them? Yes, including that. The ultimate predator profile for which no one asked. Hyenas aren't dogs. If you take one thing from this video, please let it be that. But
So, are they closer to cats? I thought they were a part of like the canines. So
they
what
aren't
are
cats
they then?
either. That's another thing people say. And if you give me 60 seconds, I'll make sure you never make that mistake again. Okay, so here you can see hyenas and dogs are on the complete opposite sides of order Carnivora.
Right.
They're not even close to being related. Nature double dipping on the dog idea is just convergent evolution. Give enough animals the same test and eventually you'll get close to the same answers. Best example, New World and Old World vultures are nowhere near related.
Okay.
It's just that the concept of a flying
Old World is Europe, right? New World is America. The Americas. That's how that operates, right? I think that they look so insanely different. Okay.
garbage disposal was so nice, nature did them twice. So yeah, hyenas are
it feels a little bit of an ego to call it the New World.
are on the cat side of carnivora, and suborder named Feliformia literally classifies them as cat-like predators.
Okay. Did I pause it?
But saying hyenas are in the cat family is like saying walruses are in the dog family.
Not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, papi.
Hyenas aren't in the cat family, they are their own family, and Hyenadae's closest relative is the mongoose mafia. The same way the dog half of carnivora has Napoleon complex crash outs and the raged weasels of mustelids, the cat half has mongooses like meerkats. And hyenas are essentially oppressive marathon running steroid meerkats. Take that meerkat fact, put it in your pocket, and hold on to it. We will get back to that. But yeah, hyenas are not dogs. Told you. Not to mention, they're more meerkat than real cat. And if you were today years old when you realized hyenas are nothing canine, well, that's just part of the personal bias you didn't know you had. Not only am I going to correct all the ways your childhood lied about hyenas, I'm going to make you like hyenas by the end of this video. And if you don't, feel free to unsubscribe. But first, let's talk about how hyenas got here, because that lore is just as important. Hyenas started as these small, non-imposing imitation civets that would have also climbed. They would have been like the cat version of raccoons. Eventually, nature would revoke their tree climbing privileges, but in return, make them bigger and tankier. Then they went through an evolutionary divorce where the hyenas diverged between the even more dog-like hyenas and the famous bone-crushing hyenas. The dog hyenas didn't fare too well. They got their evolutionary chain snatched by actual canines. The only dog-like hyena left is the aardwolf. The bone crushers fared a lot better because their bite gave them access to food no one else had, as they were the only mammals that could chew through solid bone. Whether it was a zebra's lower jaw or a rhinoceros's kneecap, these scavengers on steroids could find calories in anything, even other animals' teeth. The bone crushers would diverge into the striped and brown hyena, but millions of years before, a different version already diverged. One that was so strong they realized, I don't have to wait for death, I can just deliver it. That was the spotted hyena, a scavenger build that got strong enough to murk its own prey. Basically, imagine a Tasmanian devil, but again on steroids. Same bone-crushing bite, just now inflicting it on the living. The evolutionary endgame is hyenas have arguably the strongest pound-for-pound bite force of any carnivoran.
Really?
They even evolved a sagittal crest, which strengthens their bite, while also stopping the hyena from biting hard enough to break their skulls. It's the same head attachment gorillas have, and if you look at the top of his head, you'll see why gorillas bite hard enough to put daylight through you. Hyena jaws are so unfair that hyena poop often ends up being ashy, even chalky white, due to all the straight up bone they eat. An advantage for sure, but also probably how you fell for the hyena trap. So yeah, time to explain that title.
Okay, I don't really want the answer. I don't want the answer, but I just want to ask so that maybe I seem smart. Isn't that kind of what owls are like? Because they eat bones, don't they? But I don't know if they actually eat them or if they just go through their digestion system. But owls or birds do similar things, right? I think I might have maybe. So I remember learning something about owls and bones at like a Renaissance festival years and years ago. So I could be misremembering.
But first, we're gonna play a game called Good Guy, Bad Guy.
Okay.
I promise there's no catch, I'm just proving a point.
Are you sure?
If you were writing a story and the good guy is water, what would the bad guy be?
Fire! But I think, you know, it could be really anything. It could be electric. It could be fire. It could be lava. It could be it could be a drought. It could be give me ideas to prove a point. Acid or oil. It could be an oil spill. It could be AI. it could be a database center. It could be it could be a camel. They drink a lot of water. That could be the bad guy. Okay, let's see what the right answer is.
Fire. Okay. Next, if your good guy is a small, smart mouse, then the bad guy would be
a dumb cat, or a big dumb cat, or it could be, I don't know, a big bird. It could be a big smart bat. It could be could could uh could be an owl. Could it yeah. I'm trying to think of things that aren't Tom and Jerry, but I can't. Hmm. It 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 could be another mouse. Who's to say it's not another mouse? Hmm?
Yeah, a big, dumb cat. Last one. If your main character is a royal, brave, apex predator cat, then you expect the bad guy to be
Um uh, a dog. A dog. A a dog. Maybe a mouse. Maybe a mouse. A human. Uh, uh what is another answer? That isn't a hyena or another lion. Hmm. Hippopotamus. Yeah. Hippopotamus or giraffe. We're beating the stereotypes.
a lowly, cowardly, scavenging dog,
Damn,
or as
I
Simba
said,
put it,
damn it, I said
slobbering,
dog.
mangy, stupid oh my stars, hard P in a Disney? Every story needs a hero, and every hero needs a foil. And with one of the biggest animated movies ever headlining a Lion King, you'd expect the bad guys to be everything he isn't. And so hyenas got typecast as the opposite. They're not even dogs, but what about all this other stuff? Well, that's the trap. Because every movie, show, and documentary had lions as the good guy, hyenas were the narrative negative by default. Basically, they
Wait, what?
had lions as the good guy.
Really? I've never seen documentaries, but isn't that the whole purpose of like wildlife stuff? Is that there is no like quote good or bad animal? It's just like animals doing animal things. I've never seen lions portrayed as the good guy in anything I've watched, because they're always like mauling a zebra or like I've never seen it like that. Maybe I just haven't seen the right ones. But I mean, in Lion King, definitely, but in actual stuff like documentaries or anything other than Lion King, I've never seen that. Hmm, maybe Madagascar. That's newer. So
Hyenas were the narrative negative by default.
Okay.
Basically, they only existed as the opposite of lions.
Harley
That's
Quinn.
probably why, at some point in your life, possibly 3 minutes ago, you thought they were dogs.
Yeah.
Because it only makes sense that the biggest enemy of a cat would be the furthest thing from one. That's not the only way hyenas got done dirty either.
Okay.
The most infamous sound associated with hyenas is a misunderstanding. The hyena laugh is one of the most bowel evacuating sounds on the savannah, and it's a nervous tick. Hyenas usually laugh when anxious or stressed, especially in social situations. Like, you'll usually hear it when a subordinate is being pressed by a higher rank, and the laugh even communicates the
hyena?
age and social status to further avoid a fight. But you especially hear it when hyenas are at a kill, especially around lions. And it was this image, these cackling canine marauders stealing from these noble, self-respecting lions, when really it's usually reversed. It's actually the burly, kill-jacking lion pirating the smaller hyena, who can only stress giggle about it. A study in the 1970s between the two apexes of the Serengeti found that when hyenas and lions appeared at the same carcass, 53% of the time it was the hyenas that had done the work of hunting. In a series of 13 studies across 10 locations in Africa, hyenas lost about more than half of their kills to lions, compared to the about a third lions lost to hyenas. But before you pity the hyena, the same study also found that if you were to add up the sheer biomass they steal and get stolen from each other, hyenas don't take a big loss from lions. They actually end up getting similar amounts from each other. And that's cause with a garbage disposal for a mouth and trash compactor for a stomach, spotted hyenas could close the gap by scavenging off the bits the big cats left behind. With the most devastating bite of its carnivoring competition, only hyenas can turn a buffalo to a bloodstain and eat everything in between. The problem is people saw hyenas and lions fighting for food that the hyenas were the ones to bring down, and then hyenas eating straight bone, and came to the conclusion that hyenas are just career thieving scavengers. Add the creepy cope chuckle and you had the perfect antagonistic plot device.
Yeah, I kind of did say I thought they were scavengers at the start of this video. Now we know.
To a lion. That's no hate to lions, by the way. Honor is the name of a dead cat. If you're a 500-pound weapon and someone a quarter your size eats a steak in front of you, you act accordingly. Hyenas and lions have the most iconic rivalry in the animal kingdom. Let me know. Like the video if you want a video on that. That lore has layers. Part of it is a lion named He Who Greets Fire. A lion who murked so many hyenas, he was basically Lion King Vaughn. Ultimately, this rivalry is the best kind. Balanced, and what one side takes eventually evens itself out. Simba still had no business fixing his mouth to use that word, especially when talking about the most dominant predator in Africa. Lions are the top predator in that if all the ops of the savannah spawned at the same carcass, a prime male lion would eat first. The spotted hyena is number one in the sense that in parts of the savannah, hyenas are responsible for half of all animals killed. By population, they're the most successful predator in Africa, and up to 70% of a hyena's diet is something they took off the census themselves. In some places, that number can rise to as high as 95%, completely going against the scavenger label. They also have a hunting success rate that would embarrass your favorite predator. And in terms of pack hunting, they dwarf the success of wolves. The only pack more efficient than hyenas are African wild dogs, and hyenas basically do what they do on steroids. The difference between the two apexes of Africa is lions run, hyenas chase. Spotted hyenas can tail prey at nearly 40 miles per hour and keep that pace for the length of a 5K, but there are records of hyenas chasing prey into exhaustion for nearly 15 miles. Basically, in an area code with lions, leopards, and wild dogs, you're more likely to get hunted down by a glorified mongoose, which is why the hyena's laugh isn't the scariest sound they make. If you hear a hyena whoop at night, you might not see the sun. The whoop can have a lot of uses, and the main one is to call for backup, and these whoops can be transmitted miles away. If you're a buffalo cornered by 4 hyenas and hear whooping, it can genuinely go from 4 to 40. Hyenas are marathon running gang mongooses, and I do mean gang. A normal wolf pack is just a mated pair with several generations of their kids. In comparison, hyena clans are matrilineal cliques built off brute force, alliances, and nepotism. To put it in perspective, a study was done on the 1,000 mammals most likely to kill their own kind, and the runaway winner were meerkats. And remember what I said, take it out your pocket, hyenas are giant pack hunting meerkats, and their society can be just as oppressive. Hyena clans are famously female dominated, and as a male, it only gets worse when you get older. Males born to an alpha female can enjoy the fruits of nepotism, but as a male, once you're forced to join a new clan, you start at the very bottom. And by bottom, I mean a female cub born 3 days ago instantly ranks over you and gets a place at the carcass before you do. And as opposed to spousal male, the only chance you have of moving up the ranks is if a male above you either dies or disappears. The hyena's female first hierarchy is the second most famous thing about them. It's why Shenzi was the leader, but the most famous thing? Yeah, we've gotten to that part. Look, we already know what's coming, but this is strictly for educational purposes. We're gonna be mature about this. That being said, viewer discretion is advised, and if you're watching with kids, it might just be their bedtime. Female hyenas have a pseudopenis, one that they have to give birth through, and yes, it is as graphically awful as you think it is. The process involves the pseudo finally splitting open, and 20% of first-time mothers die. Worse, 60% of firstborns suffocate to death before technically starting life. How did hyenas get here? We used to think female hyenas had more testosterone in their blood to explain the aggressiveness, but it turns out females tested at lower levels than males. That's because it's actually what happens in the womb. As cubs inside the womb, unborn hyenas get flushed with androgen sex hormones, specifically androstenedione. This exposure heavily masculinizes the female cub and basically gives them roid rage, with proof that high-ranking mothers go on to have equally aggressive children. Those doses of hormones are why hyenas will attempt to kill their siblings fresh out the womb. This isn't play fighting, they're genuinely trying to take each other's heads off. especially the girls, because offing your sister just means one less rung to climb on the social ladder. Hyenas are also born with their eyes open and a full functional set of teeth, and the literal on-site sibling rivalry means a quarter of all hyena cubs born never make it out the den. That testosterone flush also masculinizes their genitals, as the female cub's clitoris morphs into an imitation male organ, one they have to pee, give birth, and mate through. You might ask why evolution would allow this, and that's when you gotta remember, evolution isn't survival of the fittest. It's survival of just being good enough to not die out. There are plenty of examples of evolution heavily handicapping animals. Even the lion's most famous feature can make him less fertile. But as long as it doesn't doom the species, evolution will remain Ray Charles to it. Hyenas don't have a pseudo because it's an advantage, but because it wasn't enough of a disadvantage to completely discontinue them. But that doesn't mean they don't find a way to use them. The very concept of hyenas mating means it is impossible for a male to mount a female without the female's consent, giving females a 100% say in who she gets with. Hyenas also use the pseudo situation to resolve conflict. And in hyena society, a private standing at attention is actually a sign of submissiveness, so a lower rank can wave the white flag by flashing her pink one. There's also the theory that in a female-dominated society, a false member helps female cubs avoid violence and bullying from older ranks by masking the female cub as male. I still don't think that's worth risking going back into Earth just to give birth, but reminder, if it doesn't kill you, evolution could care less about it, and the Babarusa can continue to get lobotomized by that reality. That reality is the pseudo is actually a symptom of androstenedione, and the reason for that is evolution favored more aggressive hyenas that could defend their cubs and their place at the dinner table. That being said, hyena society doesn't run on violence. There's actually an interesting level of social engineering. Hyenas are way more socially intelligent than they get credit for. For example, hyenas have an alarm call to warn the clan of lions or other
they're definitely more intelligent than me, so I can't really argue with that.
Hyenas. But if a low-ranking mother sees her cub being pushed around, she'll make a false call just to get the heat off her kid. Hyenas also seem to understand social engineering. The best way I've seen it described is hyena A knows how hyena B feels about hyena C, and will use that to her advantage. You don't really see that kind of social manipulation with wolves, making hyenas.
They've got gossip, girl boss, gatekeep. Hell yeah, hell yeah. They've got gossip and drama in the hyena world? Hell yeah.
A lot more like mongoose chimp hybrids. And speaking of chimps, hyenas actually outperform them in cooperative problem-solving puzzles. That doesn't mean they're smarter, but it's possible hyenas are more hardwired to use teamwork. It makes sense when you look at a hyena clan. You can have up to 80 members, each with a clearly defined spot in the hierarchy. Cubs inherit their mother's rank, which is actually how you can end up with a male leading a clan through the power of nepotism. Unless they leave, because again, non-native males start as a dirt under the social ladder. So you think this system's pretty set in stone, and for the most part it is, but as a hyena, you can actually finesse your way pretty high up if you're smart enough, because it's actually not how strong or tough you are. As a hyena, it's all about who your friends are, and nobody proved that point
like
better
than
Waffles. Oh, I love this story. Okay, so
Waffles. Hell yeah. Is that Waffles? Hell yeah. I love nepotism in my hyena.
Waffles was a female hyena at the very bottom of her clan. As a bottomer, you get the scraps the others leave behind. You're constantly getting pressed by your superiors, but worst of all, as a low rank, any cubs Waffles would have would be at immediate risk of getting murked by a higher rank. Clearly this is no way to live, but the question you should be asking yourself is WWD. What would Waffles do? You can't really unlock the answer without getting into just what a hyena clan is. So let's get into it. Obviously, you have the alpha female and all her cubs who inherit her rank. If her cubs have cubs, they'll rank right under them. This whole block would be called a matrilineal group, and a hyena clan is made of multiple matrilineals. Hyena nepotism means the weakest member of the strongest matrilineal group ranks over the strongest member of the second strongest group. And remember, if you're a male, you get to enjoy that nepotism so long as you're born into the right group, until you have to find a new clan, which they might choose not to do because, again, any new males join at the very bottom of the hierarchy, with the only chance of any upward mobility being after a superior male dies or disperses. But it's normally a highly rigid system with very little chance of promotion. unless you're Waffles. Because lower ranks can challenge higher ranks for their status, and those challenges aren't what you think they are, because hyenas are good at math. Instead of ripping each other apart and possibly putting both hyenas out of commission, a challenge looks more like a lower rank posturing and confronting a higher rank with her social network of friends behind her. If the challenged senses that the challenger has managed to rally more support than she can match, she'll often just submit and surrender her rank, allowing the challenger to move up. And that's what Waffles did. Biologist Eli Strauss and Kay Holtkamp watched her systematically befriend fellow bottomers, creating alliances and buffing her social cachet. And when it became time for her to confront her superiors, Waffles' social game meant that she was able to win the match without actually having to throw down. Waffles wasn't the strongest and definitely not the meanest, but by using the power of friendship, she rapidly rose up the rigid hyena ranks until she eventually managed to overthrow the clan's matriarch. In the course of just 1 year, Waffles went from a bottom feeder to the leader of the clan, and most importantly, she had earned her future cubs an infinitely better chance at life. But then something interesting happened. Even as the new matriarch, Waffles never forgot her day ones and was exceptionally friendly with the bottom tiers of the clan. Maybe her soft spot for low ranks was from her time as one. She'd do things like share food, help groom, and at one point she even shared a den with a lower rank. And let me remind you that another matriarch would have murked the subordinates' cubs. Yet Waffles was sharing a crib with them. In fact, Waffles' best friend would actually be the second lowest rank in the clan, making Waffles even more of an anomaly. Waffles went from a peasant with no prospects to a leader with a legacy of syrup. Because obviously with a name like Waffles, your children are gonna have names like Aunt Jemima, Mrs. Buttersworth, Log Cabin, Hungry Jack. Of course, nothing worth having is easy to keep, and after several years as leader, Waffles was slowly dethroned in the syrup rebellion. But the hyena that took the reins was Waffles' granddaughter, Soup, ensuring that the syrup lineage remains at the top of the North clan. It also means Waffles' descendants get a much better start to life than she ever did, and as a hyena and a mother, that's all she ever wanted. And on that note, that's gonna do it for this video, except for one thing, and I'm just gonna apologize right now. Yeah, it's a thirst trap, but it's a thirst trap for turtles. My birthday just passed. You can still wish me a happy one, but in an exercise of free will, I figured I could just get 2 birds with 1 stone. I could post a picture that, like, let's be real, I was gonna post anyway. I average like 2.3 thirst traps a year, but also help turtles in the process. So I set up 3 GoFundMes for 3 turtle organizations I believe in. Sea Turtle Conservancy is the world's oldest sea turtle research group, and its work in Totoguero, Costa Rica, shout out to Costa Rica, is the longest running sea turtle project on Earth. Sea Turtle Recovery is the only long-term rehabilitation facility for sea turtles in my home state of New Jersey. And Turtle Survival Alliance is the gold standard for the conservation of turtles and tortoises. Link will be in the description if you'd like to donate to any of these. I've already given $500 to each, but I will add an additional $5,000 to whichever fundraiser raises the most. This isn't sponsored, by the way. Again, it's just free will, so please excuse the shameless engagement bait and that forehead, and help me save some turtles. But that's gonna do it for this video. Drink water, hug your mother. May you win every hyena debate from now on. Hug your father, and I'ma see y'all
in the next one. Hell yeah. Well, YouTube, let me know if you learned something. Hopefully you did. And, yeah. Until next time, bye. Wow. Okay. Wow. We learn new things every day. Let me name this. And then the next video, I was originally gonna watch this off stream, but record it. But I realized it would probably be more fun to do on stream, just with the nature of what it is. Okay. Let me do that. This video is a little different than the ones that I normally would react to. But I've seen a lot of people react to this video. So I want to see what these are. Let me. And the video is. Wow. Okay. The best male hobbies. I wonder if he'll cover the worst ones. Huh. Yeah. I don't really do that anymore. I forget to do that. Okay. The best male hobbies, according to women. Uh, I don't know what I would consider the best male hobbies statistically. Like, to me, my most attractive hobbies for someone else to have would be probably gaming, uh, liking Pokemon, but not being a scalper, uh, maybe drawing, uh, mm-hmm. I don't know what I would consider the best. I know the worst, League of Legends, uh, fish, fish guys, uh, mm, what would be the worst? League is above all else. League. Well, I'm sure there's some fine fish people, but like the ones who make it their dating profile is what I'm referring to. Like the ones who just eat, sleep, fish. That level of the hobby. Uh, hmm. I can't think of any other bad ones. League is just my number one red flag. uh, mm-hmm. Yep. But let's see what the most attractive ones are. If I had to guess, statistically, maybe reading will be number one. Maybe stock trading. Maybe golfing. Maybe one of those would be top three. I don't know. I remember seeing a statistic like months ago that for some reason, uh, anime and gaming were very low on the list, which is wild. But I would guess maybe reading is one of the top five. But let's see what the best male hobbies are.
Can your hobbies make you more hot?
Yes.
Can they make you less hot?
Yes. If you play League, immediate no. What? Hmm. I've also found people who play stuff similar to me a lot more attractive than those who don't.
Recently, an organization called Date Psychology surveyed
Date
840
Psychology, okay.
men and women, asking them a series of questions to find out what the most and least attractive male hobbies are. And today, we're going to go through it. We're going to look at the least attractive hobbies. We're going to look at the most attractive hobbies. And let me warn you now, guys, some of these hobbies on this list are going to upset you. Some of these hobbies on this list are our hobbies. Number 10, least attractive hobby that a man can have, according to women, is
Gaming.
makeup.
Really? Why? Women do it. Well, we don't know what kind of men they asked. Could be bi, could be me, could be gay. The source could work. But really, makeup is one of the top worst ones? Really? Is it just because they think they're gay? That's the only thing I can think of. I don't get that. Why?
I mean, yeah. Okay, what's number 9? Crypto.
Why is that so low? It should be like number 5 worst. Crypto bros, do not hit me up. Do not ever. No.
Oh, ooh, dude, I am all about blockchain. Like the idea behind it, I'm into it, dude. Decentralized stuff. Keep people from taking crap away from you. I'm all about it. But it's not my hobby. It's like one of those things where if it's your job and it's a good job.
Maybe they mean like NFT guys. 'Cause I feel like crypto and NFT used to go very hand in hand. Maybe that's what they mean. Because I also wouldn't really consider it a hobby. But some people do it enough to be considered a hobby, maybe.
Then that's one thing. But if you are like a sous chef and then you're like, oh, I'm into crypto as my hobby, it's kind of like, all right, I can see how that's unattractive.
Yeah.
Crypto, fine. Self-identifying as a crypto guy, not very attractive.
Oh, hell yeah.
Not up
Hell
to me.
yeah. That is one of my top hobbies I partake. That is one of my top hobbies to partake in. Yes.
This is what the girl said.
Okay.
Number 8.
Okay, I was gonna guess, but subtitles spoiled me. How is that a hobby? That's like an addiction. But I do agree, people that smoke. Ugh. Yuck. Awful. You smell bad. You taste bad. And also unhealthy.
Cigars as a hobby. I get it. If you're just like,
Really? I mean, both of them smell awful. Anyone that says weed has no smell or doesn't smell bad, you're lying to yourself. You're absolutely lying. There is a god-awful smell with weed, but I mean, they're both awful, but one has the benefit of getting high. Yes. I also grew up with smokers, and I still think the smell is god-awful. Both suck.
smoking black and mild constantly, like hanging out the side of your window, 100%, that's super weird.
Yeah.
This is an easy thing to not look cool while doing. Are you guys familiar with the Italian term sprezzatura?
No.
It's the ease at which you do things. So you can have an outfit, and if you look like you're not comfortable in it, then you don't look cool, but you can take that same outfit and put it in a guy who's like chilling in it, and he's got sprezzatura. It's like,
Both of them look god awful in that outfit. That's just kind of a bad outfit. Like the color scheme of it looks awful. If the long sleeve was maybe more fitted, maybe it would work. But like the short sleeve and the long sleeve, the size of it is too similar. There's no like shape to it, and the shoes just don't really match anything. So both of them just look kind of awful with that outfit. Cause there's no real layering when they're both, the sleeves are both around the same size. It's a no for me.
And you look natural doing it. If you look natural smoking a stove,
No one
then you're
does.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Eh.
You look cool, and I
No.
don't care who
Yeah.
tells me different. The governor looks cool while smoking a stove.
No, you don't.
I smoke my stogie anywhere I want because I'm a stud.
But as a hobby, like your whole hobby is cigars, that's accurate. Don't smoke anything. Life's hard enough.
Okay, okay, what's next? Okay, going with this bullshit list, I would say, I feel like car guys would either be super high and attractive or super high and unattractive. So I feel like it's not that. I think gaming was pretty high on unattractive side. I don't think it's that. Maybe comics, like comic books, Marvel guys. Maybe that's next. Car guys, it's kind of like a coin flip. Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they are unbearable. It just depends on how into it they are and what they're into about cars, because it can get unbearable. But okay, if I had to guess, maybe comic is next. Maybe gambling, sports, maybe.
All right, number 7. Clubbing.
Really? Why? I feel like partying would be maybe a more fitting thing to label it as. Yeah, this list is confusing me. Clubbing. Huh. I forgot. I forgot clubbing and parties were even an option. I forgot those existed.
Clubbing ain't a hobby, dude. Clubbing is a lifestyle, dude.
Hell yeah.
I don't necessarily know if like going to a club and dancing is a very unattractive thing. Girls love dancing.
Maybe it's like the going out to maybe drink aspect of it, or the maybe they're gonna hit on someone while they're there aspect. Maybe that's it, because I doubt the dancing has any factor in it. I think maybe it's just like the location that's a part of it. Maybe it's the drinking aspect.
Girls love a guy who will go dancing with them. But again, I think these people are imagining
the
that
square
first date,
dance.
you're
God, that just unlocked trauma. Or he had a square dance.
sitting across from each
With
other at a
someone.
restaurant. You're getting to know each other. And it's like, so what are you into? If off the bat some dude is like, I like clubbing, I picture Jersey Shore type
yeah.
guy, you know? A guy who's
I
like,
feel like a lot of this is maybe more so the like what the stereotypical personality more than it actually being a hobby. Because crypto is not really a hobby. Like I wouldn't say clubbing's a hobby. It's
maybe
just
doesn't have their
the
priorities
personality
straight.
type
I like
that
clubbing.
does those things.
But that's not to say that going to clubs and dancing, like if this were dancing, I think it would be much more attractive.
Yeah.
So what do you like to do? I like dancing.
Yeah, that's a fun hobby.
That's something to think about. So what do you like to do? I like clubbing.
Oh.
Ooh.
Mhm.
It doesn't have the same ring to it. You know what I mean? Number 6. Marijuana as a
How are these things hobbies? Did they give a definition of what a hobby is? Like with smoking, it's not a hobby. Yeah, what? What?
hobby? Marijuana is my hobby. What are you into? Marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially enhance your hobbies. Going to a movie, smoking a J,
Mhm.
cooking after smoking a J. You know, like it used to
Like,
be.
I understand. I don't know if we don't know what it is, or if we don't, or if they don't know what it is. Like I feel like drinking could be a hobby, but I don't think smoking could be a hobby. I would say a hobby is like gaming, sports, watching movies, reading books, traveling. Hello. Hello. I feel like those are hobbies. crypto, cigars, and marijuana are not hobbies. I'm good. I'm very confused on what a hobby is. Okay. If I remember correctly, I think it was either gaming or comics that was top 5. So I think that's what's next. Is gaming or like comics. Nerdy interests.
Kind of like an outlaw thing.
Which to
and
me
allowed you
would be top 5 most attractive, but whatever. Uh-huh.
you to be sort of a rebellious person. But now that it's legal, it's just like drinking. It's like being into drinking. And so like if you were like, hey, what's your hobby? Oh, I like drinking. It's like, yo, okay, this will be our last date.
Yeah.
Again, to each their own, but as a hobby,
Yeah.
just my opinion. And 840 women. The number 5 least attractive hobby that a man can have according to women is Funko.
That's not a hobby. That's not a hobby. At least with Lego, you're building. Those Funko Pops, those shitty little square, weird, figures. Those mass consumption figure things. Those aren't hobbies. Those are collectibles. Like Lego, I would understand. There's building it. There's playing, like, the games that are based on Legos, like Lego Star Wars. That's a hobby. Funko. That's being a collector. I feel like maybe the demographic they asked. 'Cause I don't know how vast the demographic they asked was. Like, did they ask 60-year-olds? Did they ask someone people in the same town? I don't get it. But the thing with Funko is they're different shows. So it's if you collect Funkos, it's more so for the brand than probably the actual characters, which is even worse. But that's not a hobby. That's like saying Labubu's are your hobby. That's collectibles. No one said that word in a few months, but
The first brand name on the list. Collecting little things with big heads is the number 5 least.
being unemployed isn't a hobby. But it'll probably be on there somehow. I'm just waiting for gaming, comics, streaming. Where do we think Twitch streaming ranks? Where do we think?
Attractive thing that a man can do as a hobby according to women. Surprised that it's above marijuana. I'm surprised it's above cigars. I'm surprised it's above makeup. I wonder if this one is associated with the other things that it suggests that you like. Funko suggests, I like entertainment stuff so much.
It depends on whether you're collecting Funko because you want to collect or because you like the characters. Because I've seen like rooms full of Funko Pops. That unattractive. If you like one or two of your like favorite characters, fine. I believe I have a Vaporeon Funko Pop that I was given as a gift. Don't ask questions. I just have one, okay? Don't ask questions. I've just got one. Yeah, there's not really a fun aspect to collecting it, which I feel like is such a big part of a hobby. Don't ask. I just have it on a shelf. I just have it on a shelf, okay? It's just on a shelf. No, it's not in a jar. It's not a Milo Pony. It's not in a jar.
that I have created an entirely new hobby just to show people who come to my house
That is
how
insane.
much I like that stuff. And while I'm not one to judge, I could see how a woman walking into your house and seeing your wall of Walter White dolls might be like, I don't know if I want this guy to be the dad of my kids.
Right.
Dude, but like anything in moderation is totally reasonable. I have little toys hidden all over my house. So there's like Hot Wheels here. There's a tiny little Paul Walker above a door frame
Pokemon,
watching over
I
us,
think, will be
blessing
in the
us.
top 3.
There's a Takume
Pokemon,
Fujiwara hidden
manga,
somewhere.
gaming,
If you ever
streaming.
I'm taking everything.
No!
Don't let this happen to you. I'm
Abby?
excited to announce a special discount from our safest sponsor, Simply Safe Home Security. For a limited time, we get an exclusive discount on a new system. Save 60% on your Simply Safe security systems when you sign up
Hell
for
yeah.
a select professional monitoring plan and get your first month free. Visit simplysafe.com/speed to customize yours. There is no safe like Simply Safe.
Number 4,
Sadly.
arguing online.
Okay, now that is a real hobby. Maybe they have one. If they have one, I might watch it. Now this can be a hobby. Some people this is a genuine hobby, just posting shit on Twitter and farming angry people. Okay. I feel like the closest thing to a hobby we've gotten so far is makeup. That is the only hobby that that is generally classified as a hobby on this list. But I can see why arguing online is unattractive. I can see why.
Again, dude. What are you into? I like fighting online. About what? Anything. This is a big thing now. The debate thing. Tell him to debate me.
Ugh. Debate podcasters. I have 3 words I would say to them, but I can't say them. I can't say them. Ugh.
You would never debate me. That is the nerdiest thing I've ever heard. And I did speech and debate in high school.
Come on my podcast.
It could be argued that this is a synonym for Reddit. Again, I like Reddit. I think Reddit is one of the best platforms on the internet. One of the few bastions of what I think the internet should kind of look like is Reddit. But my hobby is not arguing with other people on Reddit.
Good.
I'm not damning the things. It's if it's your hobby. I will admit that I did argue with a few people when we uploaded our first few videos. Argued with a couple guys. I don't know if I argued with them.
I don't think I've ever really argued with anyone in like a comment section. I don't think I've ever really done that. Because I don't care enough for that. Okay.
That's how
Number 1, gaming. Number 2, comics. Number 3, streaming. That's my guess. No. Well, I consider arguing online like those people who like post those verified accounts on Twitter that like rage bait. That's what I would consider in that category.
how guys who argue online probably think too. It's like, I'm not arguing, I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm getting them. That's what a lawyer does.
I'm just
Like arguing
asking
in person.
questions.
That's not a hobby though. That's a job. He's getting paid for it, so it makes it better. Yeah, that seems like a
Show
number 4.
me
Makes me really
Twitch
excited for
streaming.
1 through 3. All right, number 3. Poor.
What?
Being poor? Oh, but Jesse.
Oh. Oh, porn, not being poor. Okay. I okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Okay. I mean, fair enough. I can't really judge it too much. That's like throwing a brick from a glass house. I can't really say anything on that matter. We sure do. We sure do. Okay, so number 2, gaming or comics. Number 1 and number 2 are gaming and comics. I'm calling that right now.
Didn't want to write it. We might get demonetized if we write porn. Should I say corn?
Yeah.
That's what they do on TikTok. All right. Corn. Dude, if that's your hobby, get help.
Yeah.
And if that is your hobby and just like right out of the gate, you're like, this is what I'm about. Kudos to you for bravery. Much better to just come out with it and admit stuff and be about it than to bury it. This one's real tricky, dude. This one's real tricky.
Gaming.
It's your
manga,
hobby.
comics, anime.
I'm not a guy who's like, dude, don't goon. I'm too old for that. All right?
Don't
as
goon,
a hobby.
okay?
I think in general, if that's your hobby, I don't know if that's healthy. Number 3 least attractive hobby a guy can have is any sort of. Number 2, gambling. No surprise here.
Does that not fall in line with crypto? I figured since crypto was covered, I figured gambling was already out. Okay. I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, I gamble, so I can't be judgmental about that. I like to gamble a little too much, but okay. So number 1 has to be gaming, or anime, or comics. I'm calling it right now.
This is one of the ones that I saw when we first found this list, and I asked Riley if it was accurate, and she was like, well, it depends if you win. I'm just trying to put myself in the head of the people who took the survey, and I think, oh yeah, that would be unattractive for a guy to just be like, oh,
spending all his money out,
babe,
and losing it.
Babe, let me hold $4,000. Let me hold another $4K, babe.
Yeah, come on.
Like, let me hold another $4K, babe. I can totally see as a potential partner, if you're looking to have a life with someone, to build an empire together, I could totally see how gambling is a hobby that puts that at risk. Like, it's going to take a lot of Funkos to lose the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like gambling, you could do it in a hand. You can put it all on black and be like, yeah, well, hey, remember how we've been working towards a future? Yeah, we're not doing that no more. But if you let me hold 4K, I think I can get it back. And then some.
4K.
Not surprising. All right. We are now at the number 1
anime
least attractive
I find them attractive
that a man can have according to women.
This list is not.
I really don't have any idea what it is. Heroin? Get a little sip of coffee. I hope it's not caffeine. The number 1 least attractive hobby that a man can have according to women is manosphere.
Huh?
Is that
Andrew Tate motherfuckers? Alpha male podcast guys. It's like alpha male looks maxing like that kind of environment, I would assume. I'm guessing like Andrew Tate podcast looks maxing that kind of I don't know about that. What list is this then? 'Cause I swear I saw a list where gaming was like one of the most unattractive ones.
like guys on the internet?
Stop standing like a nerd.
Don't be a balance.
I can guarantee you no one they're going to show in this little segment will ever be my type.
Bro,
Six-pack abs.
when you live life chasing balance, you get out of
It.
I have a hard time replacing women.
I mean,
Ugh. All of them just have an awful, awful vibe to them. Every single one who does that kind of content, immediate bad energy.
What do I have to say about this?
Yuck.
98% of our audience is male, and a lot
Mine
of them
too.
are young men. And I do acknowledge that there are specific challenges and hardships that young men have to deal with, and I don't know if they are currently given the amount of attention that I think they should.
I can't comment on this.
I think that like this just preys on that fact and is sort of a perverse, nerdy way of handling that stuff. So I don't know. One of the reasons we started this channel, and more I want to like have those conversations with you guys
go over the
and
most
help you
attractive
navigate
ones?
some of those things in ways that like I either did or didn't have people to help me navigate those things when I was younger. So yeah. Luckily, they are attracted to some stuff, though, huh, guys? We are here, guys.
Okay. Let me get into the mind of the people they interviewed. Cars. Maybe golfing. Sports. Reading. Maybe gardening. Maybe cooking. Yeah. That's gotta be high up there. They already said. They said gambling. But I feel like stocks may be on the list, but probably not. I would say book reading, cooking. Maybe golfing, sports, horse racing, maybe. But for me, my list would be gaming, anime, comics, and drawing. I can't help it. I can't help it. What is like my most attractive hobbies outside of like the stuff I literally do for work? I don't know. I like nerdy people. I like people who are smarter than me. Okay, what's on this list? It's gonna crush me. I already know it.
There is hope. No, I'm not just telling you what's wrong with you. I'm giving you some stuff that might attract the opposite sex. All right. Number 5, most attractive hobby a man can have, according to women, is woodworking. Dude, this is like...
Okay. Smarter than me. And I mean, okay, I get it. I've seen those like lumberjack TikToks where they like cut a log in half with their axe and they're like thirst trapping. But this is not off to a good start. My soul is already crushed.
Again, everyone was given a list and they had to be like, okay,
I've got
that
wood.
would be attractive if someone did that. Like, of course, woodwork, like working with wood, a super attractive thing. Nick Offerman woodworks. Number 4, cooking. I totally.
Bravo. You got it. No. Okay, we got one. This is a real hobby. This is a real hobby. The first one we've seen.
Get this. It's attractive to be able to feed your mate, to feed a potential family. Dude, cooking is so attractive. I just read 2 Anthony Bourdain books, and I was thinking, Anthony Bourdain is so known. The Bear? Oh, girls love The Bear. We're all
Never
buying
watched
expensive white t-shirts because of this guy. Matty Matheson, not a traditionally attractive man, but he's got zaddy status because the knows how to cook. This one makes sense. If anything, I'm surprised it's at number 4. Makes me salivate for number 3. Number 3, most attractive hobby according to women. Playing instrument.
That's fair. That's fair. That makes sense. That makes sense. I've never really been attracted to anyone because they play an instrument. It's just, oh, cool, nice. Okay, that's fair enough. That is a real hobby. I'm glad to see real hobbies on the list. Hell yeah. Very, very attractive. Okay, number 2. I keep wanting to say, like, golfing or, like, horseback riding. Like, traditionally very rich hobbies. Maybe coding? Maybe, like, STEM stuff? Is mayonnaise an instrument? No. Okay. Golfing.
My jealousy
Walking,
bubbling
hiking.
up a little bit. I think this is a best case scenario,
Gym,
worst
working
case scenario.
out.
And quite honestly, I'm surprised that cooking is
I
not
like
above
nerds. I like nerds. I guess I'm no one.
playing instruments. I think when someone sees, oh, playing an instrument, they're thinking John Mayer. They're thinking this guy's gonna doodle on a guitar and he's gonna Dominic Fike me a song like I'm in Euphoria or something. But guess what else is an instrument? The trumpet. Guess what else is an instrument? The tuba.
Will
I'm
he
not
say
saying those are
clarinet?
unattractive instruments to play, but a guy who's good at guitar,
I dated a
100%
band
attractive.
kid
A
once
guy who's bad
in,
at the
like, middle school.
violin, maybe not. Being bad at an instrument quickly goes from being very cool to being annoying and douchey. Number 2, foreign languages.
Okay, fair
more of
enough. Fair enough. It is attractive when someone speaks another language. Fair enough. I agree with that. I agree with that. I would say it's more of a hobby than other things we've seen. So I can't be too mad at that. Yeah. I'm glad we agree. I'm glad we agree.
A thing than a hobby.
We had crypto, Funko, and marijuana on this list. Don't be getting mad at something that is way more of a hobby. Like studying a new language, absolutely a hobby. Smoking, not a hobby. My list of my definition of hobbies has changed so much in the last like 20 minutes.
Isn't it? And I think we're getting into like Twilight novel arena
Reading.
of women imagining men that don't exist. This is the first one that I'm like, all right, okay, you're getting
How
fooled.
dare you.
If some guy's like, oh yeah, like my hobby is learning foreign languages, he's trying to appear like he is something that
Well, they wouldn't say it like that. They'd be like, oh, I'm studying French on the side. Oui, oui, bonjour. Is that French? I hope that's French. Like, oh, I'm studying French on the side. Oh, I'm studying Spanish. Oh, I'm studying Japanese. Konnichiwa, what's up? Like that's how they would say it. They wouldn't say, oh, I'm studying foreign languages. Ho 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 ho. Fuck me, woman. They wouldn't say it like that. Oh, I'm studying this language. Very cool, very cool. Say a sentence. Bonjour.
He probably is not. Sorry, ladies, that guy does not exist. Unless you're Xiaoma NYC.
Hell yeah.
Probably lying. Guys,
Okay.
we've made it. We went through all.
Golfing. Horseback riding. Trading. Coding. I'm trying to think of all high money things. Travel. Maybe travel. One of those things. Keep just listing things until I get it.
All of the non-attractive ones. We've gone through a bunch of the attractive ones. We finally reached the number one most attractive
Nepotism.
hobby a man can have, according to women. If you do this, you're probably doing okay, gentlemen.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, maybe you should pick
If
it
you do
up.
this, you're so
Number one
hot.
most attractive hobby that a man can have, according to women, is
What?
looking on Facebook Marketplace at old Japanese cars that are broken. All right, for real though, the
That's the
number
real
one
answer.
most attractive hobby that a man can have, according to women, is reading.
Okay, I guessed this like 10 minutes ago. Fair enough. They love a good book talk guy. Book talk women are terrifying. They are terrifying. But I mean, fair enough. They like an educated guy. Book talk. They're terrifying. Fair enough, though. Fair enough. They wanna read smut with their man.
Dude, this one's free. You ever heard of a library?
Yeah.
This one's awesome. This one's easy. Easier than woodworking.
Mhm.
Definitely easier than cooking.
Mhm.
Cooking's a good one, though. Playing instrument, definitely easier than playing it. We can all do it. We just got to do it. Should I start sharing books that I'm reading with you guys? You guys want to start a book club? Should we do that?
Should I read to y'all? You must be.
Should we start a Discord? Are we becoming best friends right now?
Yeah.
Dudes, if you can prove to me that you read 16 books by my birthday, March 19th.
When was the last time I read? The last thing I read outside of like social media was definitely a manga or a hentai. Yeah, the last thing I read was probably an erotica. Just being realistic, that's probably the last thing I read. What are your recommendations?
I will buy you a pizza. I'll do it, dude. I'll figure it out. Guys, let's get hotter together, dude.
Pizza day.
Let's make the boys smarter.
Yeah.
We're bettering ourselves together. I'm surprised exercise didn't make the list, but I encourage you to do that too. I bet.
The last physical book I read, I wouldn't even know. I read all my stuff on the computer. Especially the more 18 plus variety stuff. I would not read that physically. But thank you, YouTube, for watching. Comment down below what your least and most attractive thing someone what's the most attractive hobby to you? Let me know down below. Let me know. But until next time, bye. Wow. I have no clue what the definition of hobby is anymore. I have just absolutely lost it. I'm looking on my phone for something. That's why my thing's not working. Okay. I thought I had a notification, but I did not. Okay. What? Do that. Okay, what is next? Okay, it's salmonella. Let me. Let me. Okay, there we go. The original story? I don't know what the original story is. Okay. It has been so long since I watched the first part of this. I remember absolutely nothing. Oh, that's... I'm pressing the wrong thing. I've only I've only read, like, maybe the first book or two. If that. I could not get into it. Okay, let me take a drink. Okay. Flinney explains it all to Man, the Historia Naturalis abridged. It has been months and months and months since the last Sam O'Nella Academy video. I've watched, I think, every single one of his videos, but I don't remember what was in the last video. I've not watched it at all, I don't think. But yeah, I've no clue what he's gonna talk about in this video. It's been so long since the last one. But he's finally back for this one video, probably, and then he'll be gone for another day, another year. We'll probably see him in another year. But let's get into the video. I don't know if I said the name right. Flinney explains it all. Also, I have to go. Okay, I think I got rid of the noise. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the video. I do not remember anything I learned in history class. So, let's get into the video. Damn. Good luck. But you're in an ad break, so you don't hear me saying this, but good luck.
Hey seniors, it's finally happened. I've actually followed up on a promise for a sequel. Welcome back.
Wow. It's been like a year since the last one. Let's go.
To Pliny Explains It All, the Historia Naturalis Abridged. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the first one. Today we'll be taking a look at book 7.
I did. I watched the first one, but I forgot. Yeah. Can you recap us?
Titled Man, His Birth, His Organization, and the Invention of the Arts.
Okay.
Now you may be saying, Sam, we left off on book 2, so what the hell happened to 3 through 6?
Right.
Well, I read them. Boy, howdy did I read them. Let me give you just a general idea of their contents.
Okay.
I want you to imagine a map in front of you. It's a map of the world containing every nation, every region, every city and town, every mountain, sea, lake, and river known to man, each with their locations and borders precisely marked in relation to one another. Now,
Okay,
imagine you
I'm
get a call from a
imagining.
cartographer who wants to make a reconstruction of your map. So you're like, all right, I will send it to you like a normal person. He goes, nah, let's just do it over the phone. Write down the next 100,000 words out of your mouth and you've got a decent approximation of books 3 through 6. Pliny even goes out of his way in the intro to say, right, I'm just gonna be naming places. Everything even remotely interesting about them, I'm saving for later. So
Okay.
believe you me, I am doing us both a favor by skipping ahead. But on the other hand, book 7 was fascinating. Just like last time, I'll be taking you through in the exact gloriously scatterbrained order it was written in. We're keeping the same format as well, with the original text up here and my own amateur evaluation in the form of chess.com analysis icons here. I should add the disclaimer that Pliny makes a lot of very specific historical claims in this book, which unfortunately he's kind of one of the only sources we have for this time period, so with certain events he describes, if it's entirely plausible that it maybe happened, it gets the book move icon. Otherwise we'll dip into these guys.
Got it.
With that, let us begin.
Okay. Book man.
Alright, so now that I've described the entire Earth, let's move on to all those little things moving around on it. The most important of which is, of course, man. With everything she's created for us, nature is like a mother to humanity. Sometimes a good mother, other times, kind of a bitch. First off, every other living thing starts out with some level of protection from the elements. Shells, furs, feathers, scales, hides, bark. Not humans. We arrive naked and cold and screaming and pathetic. But despite living through such embarrassment,
very pathetic. Yeah. I'd fuck Earth.
babies later go on to become narcissists. They might not remember where they came from, but I do. Most animals are born with instinctive knowledge of how to navigate the world, be that through walking or flight or swimming. Meanwhile, a baby doesn't know shit. Literally, all it can do is weep. For this reason, many people believe they'd be better.
Can't, babies, hello, thank you for the follow. Can't babies instinctively swim? Or is that, like, toddlers? I forget the difference. But aren't they taught? Aren't they instinctively able to at least float? I think so. Maybe. Possibly.
Off not being born at all, or barring that, being annihilated at the first possible moment. But man is unique among the animals and
why does my thing keep doing that? It'll randomly
that being annihilated at the first possible moment. But man is unique among the animals in all kinds of ways. He's the only one to experience ambition and greed and grief and superstition, and he's the only one who cares about what happens after he dies. Also, while an animal's problems are generally caused by other species, most of a human's problems come from other humans. And man, are there a lot of other humans. The earth is covered with all kinds of different nations, each with their own languages and customs. For example, there are many tribes that eat human flesh. Now, before you judge, you should remember that there used to be people who did the exact same thing right here in Italy, those being, of course, the Cyclopes. And anyway, just across the Alps, there are still people doing human sacrifices, which is basically the same thing as
That's what I do.
cannibalism. But let's take a look at just a few of the world's myriad peoples. Up north dwell the Arimaspi, a one-eyed race who constantly wage war with the Griffins in order to steal their hoards of gold. In the valley of Mount Imaus live the Abarimon, a savage people whose feet are on backwards. They're capable of running at incredible speeds, but if you take them out of their home valley, they'll suffocate, which is why few people have ever seen them. But if you think that's crazy, wait till you hear about this.
These are all real and factual. All real and factual.
Over in Albania, there are men with green eyes and white hair their whole lives, and also they see better at night than during the day. Along the greater Syrtes, there used to be a tribe called the Scilai. Their bodies produced a substance that was poisonous to snakes. It was thus a custom of theirs to put a bunch of snakes next to their newborns. If the snakes weren't repelled, they knew the kid was a product of adultery. Among the Tribali and Illyrii, there are enchanters with 2 pupils in each eye that can literally kill you with a mean look. Plenty of other people are known to have magical body parts like this. For example, King Pyrrhus could cure diseases of the spleen simply by touching the patient with the big toe of his right foot. When they cremated him, said big toe was not consumed by the flames, so they put it in a little...
What does the pinky do anything? Does the pinky toe cause illness? If the big one solves it, does the pinky one cause it?
Box for safekeeping. On certain mountains, there are men with the heads of dogs who bark instead of speaking, and they use their dog claws to catch and eat birds for some reason. There's also the monocoli, a one-legged race who, as you might expect, are really good at hopping. Near the mouth of the Ganges live the Astomi, a hairy people with no mouths at all. Instead of eating or drinking, they subsist entirely on smells, carrying scented roots or flowers with them wherever they go. And if they take a whiff of something too pungent, they just straight up die. Beyond the Astomi are the pygmies, who are a mere 27 inches tall. These people wage war with the cranes, which you'd feel threatened to if you were yay big. Every spring, they descend on goatback to the seashore, where they smash the cranes' eggs and young to prevent them from multiplying. The lifespans of different races can vary significantly. Remember that place in India I talked about earlier,
300.
the one where there aren't any shadows ever? Well, the people there are 8 feet tall and live to be 130,
I was
and even
close.
then, they still look middle-aged when they die. But that's not the longest on record. There's a tribe called the Pandore who live to be 200. These guys are actually
200.
born with white hair that turns black when they get old. On the other side of lifespan, some races never make it past 40, some bang animals to make human-animal hybrids, and among the Kalinga of India, the women conceive at age 5 and die at age 8. So as we've already seen, the marvels of nature are many and varied. Let's now turn from interesting groups to interesting individuals, starting with some facts about birth. It's fairly common to give birth to up to 3 children at once. Any more than that is usually an omen of some kind. Except in Egypt, that's just normal there. They got something in the water. During the reign of Augustus, a woman named Fausta gave birth to 2 boys and 2 girls at once, which was no doubt a warning sign of the famine that happened right after. As for the most babies had in one sitting, the current record is 7, which was, of course, set in Egypt.
What is the current? Is 7 the record? Like factually? Or is it 8? Octuplets? Quintuplets? What is it? I forget. Imagine having 9. That is insane. Yeah, the good old days where people had dog heads and lived to be 200. The real good, true good old days.
Occasionally, people are born belonging to both sexes at once. We call them hermaphrodites. They were formerly looked upon as monsters, but at the present day, they are employed for sensual purposes. Now and then, people are even born belonging to multiple species. Claudius Caesar wrote that one time in Thessaly, a centaur was born and then immediately died. I even saw one of them myself, brought up from
Are these not just like folk legends, maybe? Like Greek mythology that this Flinty guy is just maybe interpreting as real?
Egypt and preserved in a big thing of honey. Anyway, human birthing habits are unusual among the animals. While most other creatures only reproduce during set seasons, humans do it year-round. A successful pregnancy typically lasts 7 to 11 months. Any earlier, and sorry, kid's not gonna make it. A woman once claimed to carry a kid for 13 months, but it was during a weird inheritance lawsuit, and I don't know, I smell shenanigans. So the health of an unborn child is dependent on the lifestyle of the mother. For example, if she eats too much salted meat, the child will be born with no fingernails. Also, if she yawns during labor, she will die. And if she
there was a check mark for no fingernails for salt. What?
sneezes right after sex, instant abortion. Babies normally emerge
I
head
need to
first.
sneeze
Those
more.
who come out feet first we call agrippe, and they all grow up to be troublemakers. You know that piece of shit Nero? Not only did he slither out feet first, but his mom's name? Agrippina. On the other hand, babies that have to be cut out of their mom tend to be upstanding gentlemen. Scipio Africanus was one, as well as a certain Caesarean fellow. It's well known that children inherit certain traits from their parents, such as facial features, birthmarks, moles, and scars. Sometimes these traits even skip generations. That's what happened with a Byzantine woman who had an affair with an Ethiopian man. Though her daughter shared her complexion, her grandson came out the same color as his granddad. He then became a famous wrestler. A child's facial features are strongly influenced by the minds and imaginations of their parents. This is why humans with their powers of intellect look all kinds of different ways, whereas say a lion is dumb and therefore looks like any lion. Sometimes people look just like other people even when they're not related. This was the case with two slave boys of remarkable beauty.
Okay. I I remember in like I think I was like 18 or something. Uh, my family went to some restaurant and they saw someone who they said looked just like me. I never got proof that they saw this person, but I apparently, at least back then, had a twin running around. I don't know if we look similar now anymore, but I apparently had a twin that looked, quote, just like me. It, it so, hmm. So, there might be another mystic running around. Don't trust them. They're a fraud. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if this statistic is real, but I heard there's like you have like 2 or 3 doppelgangers around the world because of human like feature combinations. There's the likelihood that like two two to three people look like you, I think, roughly. So there could be even more mystics out there. That would be horrifying, wouldn't it? Imagine 3 of me. Not in that way. Hmm. I don't think anyone looks like me, do they? I'm too unique, right? I'm too unique.
Like other people even when they're not related. This was the case with 2 slave boys of remarkable beauty purchased by Mark Antony. He bought them under the impression that they were twins, only to then hear them speak wildly different languages. Needless to say, he was pissed. He went back to the slave dealer like, what the hell dude, you charge me twin prices for 2 completely unrelated boys. But the slave dealer was clever. He replied, listen pal, of course a pair of twins would look like each other, nothing special about that. These boys came from 2 different continents, which is way more remarkable. So really, you got a good deal here. I could have charged you miracle prices. Mark Antony was like, huh, you know, when you put it that way, I guess this is cooler, thanks. Anyway, men are capable of making children their whole lives. Just look at King Massinissa. He had a son when he was 86. Meanwhile, women can't bear children past 50, and their monthly discharge tends to stop at around the age of 40. Fun fact, of all living things, female humans are the only ones to go through menses, and what incredible effects it has. For starters, the very presence of a woman on her period will cause must to go sour, seeds to go sterile, and plants to wither away. What's more, her gaze will dim the brightness of mirrors, blunt the edge of steel, and cause brass and iron to rust. And if she looks at a swarm of bees, they will immediately die. Also, one taste of the fallen goo will give a dog rabies. For most women, menses occurs every 30 days, with a really big one every 3 months. However, in some individuals, it never happens. These women are incapable of bearing children, and that's because said fallen goo is what babies are made out of. Hey, let's talk about teeth. Normal infants get their first teeth at the 7th month of life. On the 7th year, these fall out and new teeth take their place. Occasionally, a baby is born with its teeth already erupted. If it's male, great sign. That's how Manius Curius Dentatus got his last name, and he grew up to be a distinguished statesman. If it's female, terrible omen of things to come. A girl named Valeria was born with a full set, and the soothsayers were like, yeah, that means the city's gonna be destroyed. Out of fear, her family then sent her out to the flourishing city of Suessa Pompetia, which was razed to the ground by war shortly after. Some people are even born with one continuous bone where their teeth should be, which isn't a sign of anything in particular.
Like
all men have at least 32 teeth, except in Spain. Women, meanwhile, have fewer. How many fewer? Can't say. Human beings grow to a variety of heights. It's observed that men are getting shorter over time, with sons rarely growing taller than their fathers. This is no doubt a sign of the firestorm set to consume the world any day now. Homer had the same complaint 1,000 years ago, which makes you wonder how tall people must have been back then. After an earthquake earthquake in Crete, an upright body was exposed measuring 46 cubits in height. This was commonly thought to be the corpse of Orion. The tallest guy in modern times was a man named Gabarus, who was 9'9". On the flip side was a man named Canopus. He was a mere 2 feet and a palm in height, and was kept as a pet by Augustus's granddaughter. Also noteworthy was the 3-year-old who hit puberty, growing to 3 cubits and speaking like a grown man. He died of a seizure the following year. Men are generally heavier than women, and the bodies of all animals get heavier when they die or go to sleep. Some men are born with solid bones, devoid of marrow.
Isn't that kind of true? Like rigor mortis, like the body, like dead weight. Isn't that kind of true? Yeah. So he gets kind of close. Other times, not at all. I mean, I guess not when they're asleep. Huh? But isn't dead weight a thing? I feel like it is.
Get heavier when they die or go to sleep. Some men are born with solid bones, devoid of marrow. They can be identified by the fact that they never sweat and never get thirsty. Also, Big Will doesn't want you to know this, but you can just stop drinking water forever if you set your mind to it. There was once a noble named Julius Viator who got dropsy in his youth. His physicians told him that the cure for fluid buildup in the body is naturally to stop putting fluids in your body. By the time he got better, Julius was so used to not drinking that he just kept going. Let's take a look at some other instances of remarkable human abilities. To begin with, history has no shortage of strong men. There was a guy who killed a man with a single finger, another.
Really? Interesting. I've never heard of Flinny before his first video. Yeah. Killed a man with a single finger. I could say so much, but I'm not gonna.
Who won a one-handed tug-of-war with a carriage, and let's not forget Fusius, nicknamed the Bumpkin Hercules, who had a habit of carrying his own mule around, just, you know, because. I personally once saw a dude with 500 pounds on his chest and another 500 on his feet walk across the stage. Real shit, it was crazy. How about agility?
Really?
If I asked you to name the greatest runner, you might say Philippides of marathon fame. Let me tell you, that's nothing. One of Alexander's couriers once ran 150 miles in a single day, and there's some freaks at the circus who can manage 160. Hell, even an 8-year-old once ran 75 miles from dawn to dusk. Some men are blessed with acuteness of sight. Cicero informs us that the Iliad of Homer was written on a piece of parchment so small as to be enclosed in a nutshell. You know, Homer, famous for his good eyes. Also, during the Punic Wars, there was a man named Strabo who would sit at the tip of Sicily to keep watch on Carthage, around 90 miles away. He'd be like, oh, they're coming. I'm seeing 15
You can almost see him now.
galleys in a canoe. Meanwhile,
just look at him across the horizon. Or the sea.
we have one example of good hearing on record. On the day the city of Sybaris was destroyed, there was a person in Olympia who was like, guys, I think Sybaris is getting mogged. Others have an unusually high tolerance for pain. A man named Anaxarchus was once tortured in order to extract information from him. In response, he chewed off his own tongue and spat it at the torturer, thus ensuring he wouldn't say anything useful at all. Still others have exceptional memories. King Cyrus knew all of his soldiers by name, and one Al Scipio could name every Roman. Period. The act of memorization has actually been made into an art form by certain lyric poets, such that with practice they could remember any arbitrary sequence of words. But memory is a delicate thing, being damaged by disease, injuries, and even fear. One time a guy got hit with a rock and forgot the alphabet. Another guy fell off a roof and forgot who his mom was. Since we're on the subject, let's take a look at some of the greatest minds to ever live. The award for vigor of mind goes to Julius Caesar. He could dictate 7 letters at the same time somehow, and he fought in 50 battles, which is a record. Between all of them, Caesar is responsible for the death of 1,192,000 men. Some might glorify him for this, but actually it's kind of messed up if you think about it. Meanwhile, the award for clemency and grace.
If you really think about it, killing over 1 million men, kinda a bad look. If you really think about it. Might be. Just kinda might be a bad look. If you really think about it.
him for this, but actually it's kind of messed up if you think about it. Meanwhile, the award for clemency and greatness of mind is a tie between Pompey the Great and Caesar again. It's close though. Pompey was an all-timer. He was about as epic as Alexander the Great and Hercules and maybe even Bacchus. Early in his career, he conquered, the entirety of Africa. That's how he got the Great added to his name, and brother, he was just getting started. Dude ended the Civil War, ended piracy, subjugated all kinds of places, defeated like 12 million men, captured 1,538 cities and fortresses, and commissioned the cool statue that I read all this from. Honorable mention goes to Cato. There are 3 great things a guy can be: an orator, a general, and a politician. Cato kicked ass at all of them, which is why he was acquitted from all 44 of his impeachment hearings. As for history's most courageous man, there's an argument to be made for a lot of guys. One big contender was L. Cicius Dentatus, which different Dentatus from the one before. He fought in 120 battles, gaining 45 scars on the front of his body, yet none on the back. What does that tell you? He was also the most decorated war hero, receiving 18 victor's spears, 25 pendants, 83 torques, 160 bracelets, 26 crowns, a fisk of money, 10 prisoners, and 20 oxen in total. The award for biggest genius, in my opinion, goes to Homer. I mean, have you read his stuff? Come on. Alexander the Great knew it. Among the spoils he took from King Darius was one of the most ornate boxes he'd ever seen. It was originally full of perfume, and Alexander was like, "Ugh, I'm a warrior, I don't wear perfume. But my god, what a beautiful box. There's only one thing suitable for a box like this. I'm putting Homer's poems in it." The most useful rules for a happy life were uttered by a man named Chilon. He kept it simple. There were only 3. Know yourself, don't be greedy, and don't get into debts or lawsuits. That guy literally died of joy, so clearly he was onto something. Now, you may be asking, Pliny, who is the best guy? Well, the answer is Scipio Nasica. Out of every guy, he was declared the best. The Senate took a vote on it under oath. They were like, yep, he's him. He later died in exile. The greatest act of affection for another human was committed in Rome by a lower-class woman. She had recently given birth and started periodically visiting her mother, who was in jail. Whenever she went, the guards would search her to make sure she wasn't smuggling in food for her mom. Turns out, she found a way around this policy. It was eventually discovered that every visit, she would nourish her own mother with the milk of her breast. So the jailer said, look, this is a crazy thing to do for anyone, let alone a prisoner. There must have been some kind of mistake here. No woman who is this dearly loved can possibly be evil. So you know what? You're free to go. One of the greatest physicians to ever live was Asclepiades of Prusa. He was famous for figuring out a way to cure diseases using wine. One time during a funeral, the body was getting loaded onto the pyre when suddenly Asclepiades broke in. He goes, hold up, step aside, I got this. Ended up saving his life. Asclepiades was so confident in his own abilities, he made a bet with fate, publicly declaring, right, if I ever so much as get sick, I will stop practicing medicine forever. He won his wager, for he met his death at an extreme old age by falling downstairs. But forget all these upper crusters, how about the greatest slave? By virtue of the market, this can actually be answered quantitatively. Such a distinction goes to a grammarian by the name of Daphnis, who sold for a price of 700,000 sesterces. Sam sidebar, based on prices from around Pliny's time, that's equivalent to around 1,400 donkeys or 1.4 million loaves of bread. Some comic actors nowadays have technically gone for higher prices, but they all buy their own freedom, so that doesn't count. It's their own life. Of course they pay above MSRP. Anyway, here's the real question. Who is the happiest person to ever live? Happiness is so subjective that it's hard to get a definite answer here. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Trick question. Nobody on Earth is happy. Even somebody who gets whatever he wants would be constantly haunted by the fear of losing it, and someday he will. The Thracians, in their vanity, thought up a way to calculate their overall happiness. At the end of each day, they'd put a pebble in a jar. On a good day, they'd put a white one, and on a bad day, they'd put a black one. Then they'd look back and say, hey, I had 6 times as many good days this week as bad ones, so I must be a happy person after all. This man is lying to himself. Let's take a closer look at the days in question, alright? Monday through Saturday, I ate some olives and they were good. Sunday, my dog died. These things don't balance each other out. That's still a net negative. Up to the present day, only one person has had the nerve to give himself the last name of Happy, and that was El Sila. You know, the guy who marched on Rome, revived the dictatorship, and murdered thousands of his fellow citizens to consolidate his power. If that's where you derive your happiness from, you're a fucking disgrace. Honestly, we should call him...
What if that's how I get my happiness?
Unhappy. owned. Also, he died of flesh rot, deservedly, so, you know, didn't last forever. On the topic of happiness, one time, King Gyges, the most powerful man in the world at the time, asked the oracle at Delphi if anyone was happier than himself. The oracle said, yeah, Aglaus. Who? Aglaus. He's an old guy in Arcadia with a small farm that he never leaves, because why would he? Look at him, he's just vibing. Let's circle back to human lifespans. What single person lived the longest? There's a bunch of ancient kings that are claimed to have lived anywhere from 150 to 800 years, but personally I think it's all a load of crap. For one thing, different nations have different ways of counting years. The Arcadians actually counted each season as a whole year, so they're cheating. In Egypt, they count each cycle of the moon as a year, just so they can be like, yeah, the pharaoh lived to be 1,000. Forget all that. Let's look at some actual verifiable info here. Among Romans, the highest on record was one T. Polonius, who made it to 150. Besides him, there's a bunch of folks who have made it at least a handful of years past 100, mostly senators and nobles. One mime. She was even still performing at the triple-digit mark. But even in these cases, the gift of life is all too brief. The years alone are misleading. We spend half of it asleep, for one. Our years as a baby don't count. We don't know what the hell's going on. Also, being old sucks so bad that we shouldn't count that either. Honestly, the best thing a guy can hope for is to die young. Otherwise, he has to watch himself lose his senses, his strength, his teeth, his GI tract. That's not living, that's decaying. But death comes for us all, and there are plenty of signs that a patient's death is imminent. One is if the patient carefully folds the edge of their bed sheet. If they're hard to wake up, that's another bad sign. There's involuntary discharges, and I won't elaborate, but the biggest signs are an irregular and feeble pulse, and also just kind of looking a certain way. All things considered, though, it's actually pretty difficult to say for sure if a person is really dead. A consul named Aviola once came back to life right in the middle of his own cremation, and the flames were so violent that all anyone could do was watch. Sometimes the soul leaves the body for an extended period of time and returns after. This was the case of one Hermotinus of Clazomenae, whose soul would just dip for a while, wandering far off lands while his body laid lifeless. Then he'd wake up with all kinds of news about the places he visited. There was also once a boy who took a nap.
Just like lucid dreaming? Or maybe, I forget what it's called. It's not lucid dreaming, but like when you think, I forget what it's called, when you think you're a spirit. Oh, yeah. He did that. Sorry, my bad.
In a cave and woke up to find himself in a much different world. Turns out he had slept for 57 years. There are tons of other stories floating around about people briefly coming back to life and dying again, but you know most of them are made up because they usually go something like this, right? Oh yeah, I was alone with my dead brother when he got up and clapped his hands and told me exactly how his funeral should go and where he hid his gold, and also he made me the sole heir of his estate. Anyway, the best kind of death to have is a sudden one, and thankfully that's a fairly common and natural occurrence. Plenty of people have died of joy, like that Kylo guy I mentioned earlier. There was once a professor of logic named Diodorus who couldn't immediately answer a tricky question his friend posed and subsequently died of embarrassment. Plenty more die without any apparent cause at all, just going about their day. I've got a bunch of examples here of guys dying while putting on their shoes, after giving a speech, after stubbing their toe, while applying ointment to their patient's eye, while reaching for cake, while eating an egg, while having sex. It can happen at any time. And after that, it's time to dispose of the body. As you've probably gathered, we burn bodies in Rome nowadays. It used to be that we'd bury people, but during the foreign wars, a lot of guys got dug up, which nobody wants to get dug up, you know? So we switched to cremation. Anyway, so here we stand at the end of man's journey through life. Only one question remains. What happens after we die? I'll give it to you straight. We go back to the same place as before we were born. Pure oblivion, that's it. Humans in their vanity have dreamt up all kinds of fantasies about the afterlife, with immortal souls or reincarnation or a second life as some shade underground. People will even pay honors to the spirits of the departed like there's some kind of god now. But he ain't even a guy anymore. It all stems from the imaginations of people who are scared of non-existence. Well, you shouldn't be. Matter of fact, it's the best case scenario. Non-existence is as peaceful as it gets. And anyway, we got enough to worry about in this life. There's no reason at all to get yourself all worked up about the next one. So thank you for joining me in this grand tour through human existence. Real quick before I go, here's a giant list of every invention and their inventors and 3 dedicated chapters about the alphabet, barbers, and sundials for some reason. But that's all for now. See you next time on Book 8, The Nature of the Terrestrial Animals, which I will present
eventually. Hell yeah. Can't wait for that video in 2 years. Can't wait. It'll be out probably in 2030 something. Probably. So YouTube, if you enjoy this, let me know. And until next time, bye. Wah. Do I want to do one more? I think my roommates may be awake now. Let me see what the next video would be. Yeah, that's a little too long. So I think I shall call it here for now. Thank you. It's a very lovely outfit. Wow, very lovely. But I think I'll call it here for now. Maybe I'll be back shortly. Probably not today, but you never know. It's like a maybe tank top. Yeah. Yeah, I got a little jacket. I got pants. Do I have shoes on? I do not. I would not show that. Not for free. I got a jacket, pants. Yeah. So, I shall see y'all when I see ya. No. Yeah. So I shall see y'all next time. Oh, I zoomed out. Bye. Magic. Dun, 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 dun.